Nunu has really slow CC, like
no, you
really
can
high.
apprehend them or slow them.
Yeah, but it's not enough. Like Olaf ultimate, can you stop Olaf ultimate?
Well, no,
can you stop
not.
Diana ultimating on you? That's something impossible. Probably only Darius can take a Diana
as,
1
as
second.
Jack would say at this point, it's simply a case of the game will eventually turn for MYM the moment that Cogmore can solo Olaf.
I don't think I don't think that moment exists.
It does exist. It gets to that point. I've seen it many times.
At minute 7, at minute 6.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
It's a late game. It's always a late game. It happens but it does happen. And once that happens, there's nothing they can do to come back.
It's not a point only about Olaf. It's a point also about Diana. It's not possible. I mean, the only way MYM has to win this game is really doing a great early game.
So
if
okay,
the early
level
game
1.
They fall down, I don't think it's any way to win this game.
Level 1, who are we looking at? I mean, MYM have invaded all the time.
Yes.
Are they going to do that again?
They have a good level 1, but as well as CJE enters. CJE enters has really good level 1 as well. So it could be both of them. And I think like Korean style are really good at level 1, but MYM are really amazing level 1s they are doing.
A quick word, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with MYM.
MYM.
CJE enters.
MYM, CJE enters. They are split here at the analyst desk. Let's go over to the caster's desk. Here's Joe Miller and Jason. But I love you.
James.
So here we go then, Meet Your Makers versus CJE Enters. The game for the first and second position, or more importantly, I guess, the game which decides who plays Fnatic and who plays SK Telecom tomorrow in these two semi-finals. Obviously, the winner will go on to play SK Telecom. The loser will play Fnatic in tomorrow's semi-final. So, Jason, we heard what the experts had to say about this game. What's your opinion?
Meet Your Makers was playing so well today. We see Makati going to be on Izudir. We see Charu on Katarina yet again. Macro going to be on Kog'Maw this time. I'm going to, I think I'm going to give it to Meet Your Makers. However, CJE Entus did take second pick. They won the coin flip. They could have had first. So I'm really curious if they are really, confident in countering what Meet Your Makers can put out. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think that's a valid point as well. Letting that Katarina coming in, picking up that Diana afterwards, straight away into that. I mean, we've seen that Diana is a champion that can stop this Katarina really getting involved in the game. So we'll have to see how that one all works out. I mean, CJE and Meet Your Makers have both looked very good today, both beating CLG with in very different ways, I'm going to say, from that one. Obviously, we had a long game in CJE versus CLG and a fairly short, concise victory for Meet Your Makers in our first game of the day. Looks like Meet Your Makers maybe looking for something here at level 1. Yeah, Olaf is getting caught, but he's not going to die from Darius and Udyr at level 1. But Meet Your Makers here are working their way around towards this blue buff area. They're slow actually coming down onto Makler, and he's forced to flash already to get himself away from that danger. And that will be blue buff started off here, and that's going to be taken.
Something important, though, they held him off that blue. Makati was able to run in there, still the race, and still red buff away from Lee Sin. So that's going to keep him really far behind. Even though they did build that summoner spell Makler there to get that flash to get away, it's still completely working out in their favor. It was like a two-pronged invade we saw there. And it worked out really well for Meet Your Makers. And they're, like you were saying, they're really well known for their level 1 jungle. Well, level 1 fight, sorry.
See here, Charu versus Dade in the middle. And Lee Sin is now inside of this jungle, trying to get that red buff for himself. Let's see, Nunu actually going to come here. Will he end up flashing away from this win? Lee Sin? No, he won't, because he already used his flash already in this one. He is chasing down Libic here. Not going to be able to finish off anything there, but he's got Kinch and Dade coming in to help him out with this red buff. Libic needs to be a little bit careful, but Udyr and Katarina coming around the side. There's the slow coming down. Buff is still there. Actually will be smited down by Lee Sin, and Lee Sin's going to go back down. Are we going to see first blood here? Makata going very low. Will the ignite finishing? Yes, it will. It's Ezreal to pick the first and a double kill onto Cogmore. Could it have gone any better at the start than getting a double kill onto your AD carry?
Getting them double buffs, which he now has, Joe. Yeah. Going to be very strong in that lane. And one thing that was really interesting was Insec actually flashed over Dragon Pit just to get into red buff, because he didn't have the ability to get over there, and he wanted to just get it very sneakily. Worked out for them in their favor in that Ezreal. I mean, against a Kog'Maw who doesn't really get strong till 6+, going to have a really hard time here.
We heard that from the expert desk. And they're saying, well, the only way that Meet Your Makers should win this is if they have a very strong early game to kind of rocket them through into that later game period where Kog'Maw's obviously going to get strong, but you know, he's gone down here. It's 19-8 in the CS. Kog'Maw will be catching up here slightly, but I mean, a BF sword and a Vamp Scepter. 2 wards picked up there as well by Ezreal. Pots coming in as well. So overall, a big item advantage for this laning phase, which is only going to make it harder. Meanwhile, we do have Insect coming into this top lane, but Darius did just go home.
And Darius actually, I was expecting him to win that lane a little bit early on, since you know, the damage he can put out, the pull he can do against Long Panda with that Apprehend, it can really out-damage him, though. He's leveling up Undertow right now, 2 points in at the moment, trying to just keep up his farm, which he's currently winning at the moment. You see Darius coming back to lane with the Doran's shield, which I wish we'd still see that Doran ring shield blade that we keep talking about, Joe, but that's going to help him with that regen and help him against the damage Olaf's putting out. So it will give him that extra armor against that Undertow. Makati coming into an invade here. Doesn't really have anything up at the moment. Has those boots, has a health pot and a ward. Maybe just going to ward it up and then back out and take that big Wraith. And looks like that's what he's going to do.
Big Wraith, the target for him. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Dade and Chara just exchanging a bit of damage. Olaf going to come back in with the Fairy Charm and a Cloth Armor as well. And what is the plan for this bottom lane? Now they've got that double buff on, is it just to bully him out of the lane as much as they possibly can? Obviously, there is harassment coming from both sides of that one with the Qs of Ezreal. He's got 1 point in his W as well, which he will continue to use for that harassment. Lee Sin again coming up into this top lane. There's no ward down by Kuban. They've seen that he's not bought one of those. So we'll see if they can actually get in here to finish things off. Kuban does still have his flash available, though. Should he need it? Insect continues to wait here inside of that brush.
He's got to know something's up. Long Panda's playing a lot differently right now with the Olaf. And he's just trying to stay behind that mini wave. Like I said, with that flash up, he's going to be able to escape this.
Well, here we go. Insect is going to come in there. Are we going to see the flash away from the Q? No, not quite. That did connect, but how do you do the damage? You can't really do enough damage there to Kuban, who, as we said, did pick up that Doran shield right at the start of it. But as things have kind of quietened down now, we can see the CS difference. Actually, Darius does have the lead, but this bottom lane with Space, who got that double kill early on, got the double buff from it as well. He is now a good 10 CS into the lead. Middle lane, 32-37. Diana gaining an advantage on that front as well.
And we see at the bot lane, Maker's going to be backing out right now, or trying to, as they are. Nunu finally does go home. However, if Mako did go home as well, they might actually lose that turret. In mid lane, Char actually having somewhat of a problem here. He's losing quite a bit in CS, but then again, it is a Diana. Kuban in that top lane, trying to bait them in, missing that Apprehend though.
Oh, they're going in on towards Kuban here. Reckless Swing comes down. Here is the teleport coming in from Katarina, and they're both low. This could be quite disastrous for them as Lee Sin gonna dash away. Makata can't quite get in there to finish things off. And in the meantime, Diana did just go home. They see both of them actually going away here. Insect would actually be going over the top of a ward as we see Makla underneath the turret here being harassed by Ezreal Lulu. And they know that Insect is in this bush. But look at Kuban. He's pretty low here. If they manage to land the Q, which they don't quite do, there's the dunk coming down, but it's not going to quite pick up the kill for him. And that will be Insect taking down Kuban in the top lane. That will be 3-0 for CJE Entus. They're approaching a 3,000 gold lead already. And look at this bottom turret. It's below half health. Nunu himself can't really do much to stop this one from happening, except throwing those snowballs out there, doing as much damage as he can, but he's falling low right underneath his own turret. We do have Makata on the top side by those big golems, but this turret is all but dead.
I mean, this game looking very bad for Makers, but we have to remember, Intel Extreme Masters Singapore, they were down 10-2 in one of the final matches against Absolute Legends, ended up coming back because they are still a strong team, even if they do lose early on. And I still wouldn't count them out. Having that Kog'Maw late game is just devastating. Having Katarina on top of that and the dunks out of Kuban is going to apply a lot of pressure to CJE Entus. They're going to lose this turret here very shortly.
Oh, Space taking a lot of damage. Actually will get exhausted there. Had to flash away just to keep himself alive. And did put that Ignite down onto Libik, who, as you can see, lost a lot of his health. But crucially, didn't end up dying to give kill number 3 over towards Ezreal. We currently have Olaf inside of that blue buff area coming down for that, which indicates a dragon attempt in the coming moments from this one. Lee Sin is actually waiting here for Makata as that ward goes down. He's not actually seen Insect there because of his positioning, and he's going to come right in on top of him. Where is the kick going to come down? There is the Q landing. Can he get in behind him to kick him away from the tower? No, not quite, and now Insect might be in trouble himself. As Katarina hunting him coming down. Nunu's going to come in there as well. And Insect has to make a decision. Puts the ward down. Will W away. Q's over on towards Kuban and will be saved by Dana. That was a great reaction play from CJ.
That was so good out of Insect right there. I'm actually really surprised he got away. He still had that flash up. Actually, no, he ended up using it. Makati trying to go for this blue buff here, but he will get caught by Insect.
Oh, they're
really
coming
bad.
back in here. Makata gonna be in trouble. Has to flash away, but the Ignite was already running. And Insect will pick up another kill. And according to our statistics, Insect plays more Lee Sin than anything else. So, well, we can expect him. I think as Demon rightly said, any top jungler in the world needs to be good or is just good on Lee Sin at this stage of things. We have seen the AD carry and support lane switching around here, headed up towards that top lane. Space got his Phage done, got a Doran's Blade and that Vamp Scepter from earlier on, compared to double Doran's Blade on Kog'Maw, and he's just not going to be able to keep up with that damage that Space can throw his way.
Yeah, he just keeps harassing him, as you see. Kog'Maw keeps trying to run away, but he keeps getting hit with Qs, keeps getting hit with auto attacks, just not able to do anything about it. And we both have aggressive lanes out of CJE and out of MYM at that top lane, but clearly it's going to CJE Entis' favor. That huge CS lead between the AD carries is really going to be devastating.
Diana's coming in from the side as well. They're going to go in towards Limit. There's the Ezreal ultimate. Heal coming out of Kog'Maw. Not going to be enough to save his teammate. Will it be enough to save himself, though? Maybe not, as Katarina comes in there. Double kill. We will see Kog'Maw go down. Can Diana escape from this one? Nope, not quite. Kog'Maw gets it there. The triple kill in the end. So nice little comeback from Meet Your Makers.
Mackler just got 3 kills and a bonus off of Space right there. Yeah. So that just completely set him in the game, and honestly probably got Meet Your Makers back in the game, because how do you stop a Kog'Maw late game? They really have the expert just was saying, 4 champions to get in onto him. But I mean, Mackler, we saw when he's playing Vayne, his micro was amazing. He has the ability to position himself correctly. And Charu, great job out of him to be aware and actually head up towards that top lane and turn that around into a good trade for them. We do have Insect though getting caught by Libic, has no flash, but has that kick to get away if need be.
Oh, and he's actually going to get the ulti off onto him there. With that Blood Boil, actually runs in, kicked away by Insect. So good job from Libic to force that ultimate coming out there of Insect. I'm going to force him low. He's just going to go off, do the Wraith, which obviously are not completely full in there. Actually, he smited the big Wraith down. That's why it wasn't stalling out earlier on. We did see Long Panda actually taking the big Golem away earlier as well on this bottom side. 69 to 59 is the difference between the Darius and Olaf, and it looks like Meet Your Maker's going to be going in for the first Dragon of the game. 11 minutes 20 into it. Kog'Maw is obviously now level 6, and that will be Dragon taken pretty easily. Ezreal ulti does come across, which catches Kuban. Long Panda might try and just push in for a little bit of an advantage. That one, if he can land an axe to get the slow onto him, which, well, he misses in the end.
Yeah, it's a very much needed Dragon for Meet Your Makers. As you now see the AD carrying support in the mid lane, because they're losing turrets everywhere on the map. We still have Olaf pushing that bottom as they got that bottom turret when they did switch. Ezreal and Lulu in the top lane still being very aggressive, and they're just trying to keep Meet Your Makers from being able to farm, being able to pick up these kills. I mean, Charo has 3 assists now, has that haunting guys compared to Diana. His counterpart has a Negatron cloak, so he's going to have a really tough time killing Diana, not to mention the CC that they can put out on top of her. Or him. I always get confused when they play a female champion, Joe.
Yeah. Technically a her since it's Diana, but he's a guy, so. But either way, we have 18.1 to 14.6 thousand gold here in favor of CJE Entis, so a healthy gold lead just 12 minutes into the match. I mean, if you factor in that Dragon as well, that would have been quite dangerous for Meet Your Makers if they'd have lost out on that Dragon. You can see already the damage that...
Oh, top lane Joe Insect coming in on to Mackler.
Yeah, he should be able to take him down here. They are both level 8, and let's see what Mackler can do to try and escape from this one. He is going to get hit here with the Q at close range. Let's see what Insect can do. Actually, will kick him there on towards the wall. And here comes the teleport from Charu, and it may be enough to save him here. Has got that ward down to dash to, and he will dash away from it. Meanwhile, Libic here taking damage in that middle jungle area, and they throw a ping ward down. And CJ can't quite follow up on it. Olaf did go low as well at some point. I didn't even realize where that was around the map, but he's gone back now and is safe. And we will stay at 6-3, but over a 3,000 gold lead still for CJ.
You know, during their interviews with Makati we've been doing after these games, they said they like to play what they enjoy, what they're comfortable with. And yeah, it just seems like the playstyle CJE Entis is putting up against them is making them really uncomfortable. They're not really used to it. They're having a hard time adjusting to it. Gold lead really showing that. The Dragon obviously helping out, but 2 turrets to 0. Not used to seeing Meet Your Makers fall behind in turrets since they're so aggressive early on. And just in items, they're pretty far behind. We see 2 GP10 out of Makati. We see 2 out of Olaf. Going for Australias, which, Joe, you're a big fan of seeing as a first item, or if not a second one for him. And then Darius in that bottom lane finally has that Phage and Ninja Tabbies. Looks like he will be going for that Trinity Force as his first major buy.
Yeah, I mean, Shirelle, it's not like you need to rush into it, but the fact that it gives you that health, the cooldown reduction in there, plus the 40% movement speed.
Yeah, on top of his Ghost.
For 3 seconds. On top of your Ghost with the ultimate running. It's a great item overall for everything that really Olaf needs to do. I'm going to see Space getting pulled in here. Was stunned up by Makata, but uses his flash to get away from that one. Arcane shifted as well, and he will stay safe again. Meanwhile, Olaf just stealing away that big golem once again on the bottom side. Got double GP10 built up now with the Philosopher's Stone and that Heart of Gold. Rest its soul.
They haven't really been They haven't really been punishing Long Panda and at this bottom lane. Darius has been there, you know, to trying to defend him or defend against him. But look at him; he's still pushed up. He has pretty much no ward coverage down there. He's been taking the big goal as much as possible. See Makati Blue's gonna get stolen.
Oh, it was Ezreal's ultimate that actually stole it there in the end. An Insect gonna follow in to take out Makata. But here we go, Kuban and Limit in the jungle. Charu coming in from around the side. Where are these kills gonna come down? It's Insect that dies. There is the dunk. Doesn't get the kill though, but it will be finished off in the end. There is Lee Sin going down, and this Cockmore doing massive damage at the back of everything. They're going to take out Space, but can Makler get away? Kinch will die as well. Makler going very, very low here to Long Panda. Kuban can't quite keep him away. Will apprehend him here. There is the ulti going down, and that is a quadra kill for Makler. And if he wasn't already a good start, that he got the triple early enough, there's another 4 on top of it.
And an ace.
Yeah, as they said, on the expert desk, they need to have a good early game. It's not technically still early games. They've had a bit of lane switches. Towers are down, but it's down close enough from Makler's point of view here. Going 7-2-0 up. And, well, he's in a strong position. But again, he's, 7 kills. 1 then over with Darius. He becomes an easy target. The question is whether Meet Your Makers can protect him.
Yeah, I mean, that was so well played by Meet Your Makers. Kuban actually used his ultimate just to get someone low enough to get Charu that reset when he just completely went off of him onto the next target and onto the next after that. And their combo, I mean, of Darius and of Charu. Oh, so you see down and going in. They get someone low, they can either dunk them and get Katarina reset or just Katarina kill him.
Kuban getting kicked out though here in the middle. He is going to be going down eventually. There we go, finally. And now they are going to try and pressure this middle outer turret. That'll be the final turret still up for Meet Your Makers on that outer ring. And once again, they managed to hold on to it. Kinch actually is going to be putting that pink ward down just to get rid of that ward in that river bush. He obviously picked up 1 kill in that last fight, which is why he actually has that blue buff on now as well.
Joe, we talk about kill spread, and we've seen, Makler playing Vayne. He had all the kills on the team until a certain point where it started trickling in for Charu. But, I mean, he has 7 kills here. Can a Kog'Maw really carry the game without getting kills for the rest of his teammates?
Well, like I said...
If they can protect him.
Yeah, if they can protect him. That's the real problem for this one. I mean, if you've not got anything on Katarina to start that snowball into motion, then you could be in danger. The good thing is that they've got 2 resets on their team, so they still have a lot of damage to come out, even when, Makler's at the back. But Arne said the same thing, that how do you stop Diana and Olaf and Lee Sin, for that matter, running straight through your front line and off towards your Kog'Maw at the back?
You don't really. That's the thing. But then again, I mean, Kog'Maw, with how fed he's getting right now, he can afford to take at least one of these guys on head-to-head. But, I mean, that's definitely right. If they do get in his face, they're going to have a hard time. Blibit can slow him with that ultimate. Makati can just run around stunning as many of them as possible. But in the end, if, Charu and Kuban don't get a kill or 2, they're not going to win these fights. They need to get someone, though. They have to get a kill, and they have to get those resets going.
So let's take a look down the items. Olaf did end up going straight in towards that Shirelius. Heart of Gold and the Chain Vest with Ninja Tabbies on top of it. Lee Sin, Aegis, Brutalizer, Boots of Mobility for Diana. Moving up towards that Abyssal Scepter. Already got the Sorcerer's Shoes. Ezreal actually a bit in between. He went for the Phage first, but then picked up that BF Sword afterwards. And we are going to see them coming down now on towards Makler's position. The Ezreal ultimate not actually hitting Makler. And they may look to turn this one around. There's Katarina getting into the middle. Lulu ultimate will actually knock him out of that, but Daddy is going to be in there. Makler is still alive. He's godlike now after picking up another kill in that one. Insect now going to be trying to run away around the backside. I mean, that was another 2 for 0 for Meet Your Makers. And these fights are just all going their way. There's a kill coming down for Udyr as well, which always helps out. Dragon is available. Let's see if Insect can get the steal.
Mackler, and that actually I'll say this is after this happens, but does he really need to go for it? That's the real question.
Here we go, goes in and does get the steal as well onto the Dragon. Nicely done. Here comes the Ezreal around the side, but well, Insect is going to go down. And it is Makata that will pick that one up in the end as well.
And that last major team fight, if you looked at Mackler, which I hope the experts does go to, his positioning, he dodged an undertow at Olaf and stayed out of range of them so well. I've not seen positioning like this in a really long time. Really well played by him. And they got the resets. I mean, yeah, we were saying before, Charu and Cubone, not really any kills. But as long as they get those resets, as long as they keep doing damage while Mackler's pretty much being, well, kiting the rest of the team, they're still going to win these fights. I mean, we need to see, Randuin's coming out of Long Panda here. They need to slow his attack speed on Kaba. With that Nunu, with that Phantom Nest as his first item, it's causing a lot of problems.
Yeah. I'm sure that they're going to end up going that way anyway.
Oh, Glacial Shroud instead.
Glacial Shroud, I guess. Kind of works as well.
Yep. It's a lot of cooldown reduction for Olaf.
Now space going to be clearing out. CS in his favor. Kills not quite, even after that brilliant start of the double kill at the start. And now they are trying to hunt down Diana. Can they get in on her? There is Charu. Going to get dove on here by Dade, who's just trying to find a better path out than going straight through his own turrets. But he's in the Meet Your Maker's jungle now. And they're just going to say, well, you just run away. You go that way. We're going to be trying here to take down your outer turret on the bottom as Makata here underneath his own turret. Maybe in a bit of trouble. Lee Sin and Olaf. And then Diana coming in. That is going to be a kill for Diana. Meanwhile, Kog'Maw is hammering away on this turret. They've lost their inner turret in the middle lane, though. And CJ, knowing that Kog'Maw isn't there, may try to get an inner turret as well. They may even try and jump in on towards Kubon. Charu, though, coming in may just be enough to drop him back.
Yeah,
nope,
that's
not quick enough.
Those are two turrets you don't want to lose, Joe. I know that's like a big thing for you. That's a lot of control that Meet Your Makers is not going to have. We haven't seen an Oracle coming out of either team just yet. Actually, sorry, we do see one on Lulu, but none out of Meet Your Makers, and that's a huge problem. I mean, versus CLG, we saw the ward coverage of Meet Your Makers. It was amazing. They were able to catch CLG off guard. We do have them trying to chase them down here, or see if they are going for that Baron. But they obviously are not.
Yeah, they've all backed away here. Meet Your Makers still, I guess, not going to be 100% sure as to if every single one of them has backed off. As you said, Oracle over with Lulu, which may see Nunu picking one up. Or not.
Or he will.
Yes, he is. He went back for it. I was going to say, as soon as they noticed that Kinch had that one, then it makes sense that they would even back away just to get that one in anyway. Just to stop that advantage becoming too big in the vision. It's Kubon that's actually carrying all the wards right now for Meet Your Makers, carrying 4 at this point. Frozen Heart is now finished for Olaf as well. Phage and the Infinity Edge now done for Ezreal. But Infinity Edge is not too far away from being complete on Kog'Maw's side either.
Yeah, and when he gets that, that's when they're exactly going to want to fight. He's going to have the damage they need to really get people low and really allow those resets like insane the entire game. And it gets kind of repetitive, but that's exactly the kind of strategy Meet Your Makers is going for. Do have Makata. He's level 10 compared to Insect, who's level 12 at the moment. Kind of a little bit of a problem, but with that Shurelya's, I mean, kind of a supporty build, going to be helping his team out as long as he can land those stuns. And Ezreal not going for any poke, just going for that straight assassination team that they are currently have lined up with that Infinity's Edge, like you were mentioning. And we do see Lulu actually boots some ability on Lulu. Has 3 GP10 on top of it just so he can keep those wards incoming, not to mention the oracles.
Yeah, why not? The faster that she can get around the map and get rid of those oracles, the better it's going to be. Overall, for CJ enters. Dragon coming up 24-41. Still a couple of minutes for that one to come into play. The Q from Lee Sin will land on Kubon. It doesn't look like they're going to be backing this one up just yet. We're going to have all 10 players in this middle lane, jockeying for position. Do CJ want to get into a fight? Maybe after they've chipped enough health down. They also, looking down, have ignites up across the board, flashes. In fact, all the summoner spells right now are available for use on the CJ side. But the same is in play for Meet Your Makers as well. Ultimates already. We'll see if they do end up going for any kind of fight in this one. 35.3 to 31.2 thousand gold, so healthy 4K lead. 2 turrets in there. But will CJ be feeling that advantage? Because, you know, when the kills are tied at 11-11, you don't always know for sure, how far ahead you're going to be in gold. You've got to keep an eye on those items to figure out exactly when you're going to be fighting. Maybe they'll want to do it before Cogmore gets that Infinity Edge finished.
Yeah, but we do have Charo, though. He has that full penetration builder now building into that GA next. And that's pretty much this, 3 core items is that Honey Guys, Interceptor, and that GA. It's going to be really causing a lot of problems for them. But yeah, that's a good point. They need to engage before Mackler gets that Infinity Edge, because when that happens, he's going to completely outshine Space, and that will be a huge problem for CJE. Though, I mean, Log Panda and Dottie, if they can get in his face, especially if that Diana, if they get in there together, they're just going to destroy Mackler, and that pretty much is all their hopes that Mutual Makers has.
Well, looks like they're going to go for a bit of time clearing wards out here over towards Baron. Kinch has his one here in the back, which just times out. Timed it to perfection to come in there. Nunu going to come in the back, though, and they'll get rid of that one straight away. Can't imagine that MYM would want to right now be starting off Baron, though.
Oh, they might try to go for Insect here. No, instead they don't.
Wow. That was pretty nice play for him. Just going to go WA on towards that ward and then walk straight through the middle lane. However, Dragon is now up for Meet Your Makers. This is just that one step closer to bringing them back level in the gold totals. Going to go down without any challenge whatsoever from CJ. Lee Sin a bit pushed up in this middle lane. He can always go out that top side of the jungle if he needs to. Or he could face check into all the bushes. No, obviously not. They were stood on top of a ward there, just clearing that one out.
Oh, there it is, Joe. We do see that Infinity Edge finished up to Mackler now. That Dragon definitely helping out right there. And this is where the fight should happen. And Meech Makers and CJE, both of them being very hesitant to engage on each other. As it looks like Meech Makers might. No, thought they were going to get caught off guard here. Chara even might get caught, as they do go for the engage.
Yeah, Insect coming in from behind. He's actually going to kick him against the wall, but flash used by Charu.
Caught in, Libby coming in.
Get him away. Now Makata coming around. Charu is back in the fight. Can they stop them getting away? There is the stun coming down onto Insect. Here comes Livik. Actually will get the snowball off onto Space, and they're going for the AD carry here. Not messing around. There's the ultimate coming out of Nunu. Wow, Lulu's ultimate actually moved Ezreal's position there. So that his ultimate pretty much didn't come in. Long Panda does come in with Ghost running. But what's he gonna do? 1 versus 5. Run away was the best choice for him in that scenario. Blue buff is up and available for the taking with Meet Your Makers, who now have that kill lead.
Yeah, but that CS difference between 80 carries is quite surprising. Actually, well, not that surprising considering we did see Space get those 2 kills early on, but 50 CS quite a bit. And, I mean, Darius even losing his lane. Chara's the only one currently winning his lane with that 207 to 188. With Diana getting really close to a Zhonya's at the moment. You still see Chara working into that GA. Almost has the gold he needs. It's about 200 short. And we have double Shirelias, Joe, for Mutual Makers.
Yay, double Shirelias. I do like me a double Shirelias, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, it can be a valuable thing, especially when you want to get away from an Olaf. He's got Ghost and that Shirelias in the team as well. Or chase an Olaf, which may be the other option that ends up happening. But a solid... I mean, it's that time in the game where neither team really wants to be making a wrong move or engaging on anything but their own terms. Ward trading is pretty much all that goes on at this stage. Jockeying for position in there. We are going to see Kinch in a little bit of trouble here, but he's got the rest of his team for backup. And in the end, they don't push in afterwards. But you can see how kind of on a knife edge this game is now. Balance just teetering.
It's really a battle of the wards right now. It's who can have most on them and keep this vision long enough. And both sports can be backing up quite often. We do see a lot of wards still on CJE and quite a bit for Amakati right now. They really don't want to give up this jungle control. As you see, Mackler going to pick up his red buff here. Double buff Kog'Maw, Infinity's Edge Fan Dancer. He's very scary. He's in there at that 1.6 attack speed without that blood boil. And with it, 2. Just 2.
Yeah. He is hitting fast and hard, that's for sure. As Livik just walking over the top of a ward there. Going to get that one finished. We do have a Guardian Angel now with Charu, which we saw in that last game. I think 8 Guardian Angels by the end of it. 6, 7, something like that. It was a lot anyway in the CJE versus CLG game. But look at this, they've got rid of the ward. Meet Your Maker's going to start things off. Olaf's at the bottom, he's got no teleport. This is going to be a 4v5 fight if CJ decide to take it. Q goes in there from Lee Sin. They've got wards in there, they've got vision. But when are they going to jump in there? Insect does have his smite available. Meet Your Maker's actually backing off here somewhat. Insect will dive out of the pit again. And they decide, okay, let's stop doing Baron. That's not going to bring us anything at this stage. And CJ quite happy with their job being done from that. There's a lot of gold for Kinch actually in that area as he just runs over the top of a ward. But he's going to have a good time clearing out there. Probably get himself about 200 gold by the time he's finished off, finishing off all those wards in and around Baron.
Smart play by Mutual Makers actually back out of there because they saw Insect was 2 levels higher on Makati's at the moment, and he already stole Dragon away. If he steals that Baron away, it's just sealing your fate into a loss here. But yeah, a lot of wards still around. We still have, I believe, that Oracle. Yep, on Kinch still.
And they missed this one.
If this was a drinking game, Joe, like the one for IPL. Oh, they are. They're actually, wait. They can't see that ward. They cannot see that ward, but they are spotted by it right now. In that Baron pit.
Oh,
there it is.
An Apprehend comes out. We are seeing Australia's pop in. Living going very, very low, but got his ulti channeling Daddy. Going low as well. Lulu is actually in there. There's a kill for Cosmo, but they've already lost 2. Makler now going to be focused down. Panda will die as well. Finally, Makler actually dies. Well, look at the damage. Here comes Cosmo in there as well. And Insect now going to try and get away. Stun came down. He's going to dash off towards Lulu. Where's the slow? There it is. Makata not going to get in. And Charu not getting over the top either to chase them down. So, a 3 for 3. Still really, really close in these team fights. Unbelievably close. Yeah, they had to pop that exhaust on a charge just to keep him from resetting so often. He had his GA popped up there. He had his flash up in about 5 seconds. Could have hopped over that Baron wall and potentially sealed the deal right there, picking up an ace. But still, yeah, very close. Cubone died very early there. We saw Makler actually get dove on straight by Insect, kicked him out, and was just sticking to him like glue the rest of that fight. And it really caused him so many problems that he couldn't really DPS too much. So all that damage really just came out from Cubone and Charu. So Warden's Mail picked up there by Olaf. And as you talked about that, Randuin's earlier on. Along with the Frozen Heart as well. Nice. Nice touch from Olaf. Also got the Negatron cloak in there as well. And what else do we have being finished? Aegis was done a little bit earlier on there by Udia. We have Trinity Force finished for... Ooh, Charu's actually teleporting now. Where's he off to? And he's coming down into this bottom lane where Dade may get caught out here. Here we go then. Charu gonna go right into him. Dade is pretty damn tanky still though. That could be dangerous there as Livik flashes away from the ulti. Here comes Cogmo from the back. But we've got Charu using his ulti in there. Here comes the Apprehend. There is the kill from Charu. That gives him the ability to Shumpo further in, but they decide against it in the end. They're happy with that one single kill onto Dade. What is their next move? Ward's been cleared out. Blue buff's going to go down. A dragon is available for the taking if they want it. What Meteor Makers may just settle for that inner turret here on this bottom lane. However, top lane, Olaf pushing his way straight through there. Let's go to this top lane as we see Makler actually just zoning them out with that range. You can see how fast he's auto-attacking now. Going to be moving up into walls.
Oh, Charu going head against Long Panda here.
Wow. That's an interesting move. I didn't really expect him to do that, but he is going to go for it. Charu here will get his Q off. There is the Shumpo. Not quite got the finisher, but the red buff. Red buff finisher. Nicely done. There is Dragon going down for MYM as well. And things are starting to fall into place. You know, this Kog'Maw's only getting stronger.
And Charu is playing so well right now. Cubone actually, he's giving up a lot of kills surprisingly over to Charu. I mean, he could have dunked on that kill in the bottom lane. Instead, he just let Charu get it. As you can hear them behind us doing a lot of arguing, trying to really secure this win. Because like we said before, you know, the winner of this moves on to play SK Telecom, and the loser plays Fnatic.
Yeah, I kind of want Meteor Makers to win this one just so we have a Europe versus Korea in both semi-finals, which means we could still have an all-European final or an all-Korean final. So, you know, it keeps it kind of balanced in that respect. But still, this is an incredible game once again. Maybe a little bit less pressure on both teams because they are already through to that semi-final stage. And at the end of the day, you have to beat everyone anyway in a four-team bracket. So we'll have to see.
Well, Lee Sin, I mean, this is the point where he starts to fall off. He's not really, I mean, he's known as not being a really strong late-game champion. Doesn't have the last whisper, just still with that brutalizer, but it's his mobility and it's that ultimate that's really setting up his team, trying to get Makler out of position by kicking him into his own team. Though we are having a 5-man push, actually, CJ Entus on this mid lane. And currently, Meechmaker's not really in a position to defend it.
Yep. Entus pushing their way in. Can they finish off the turret, though? I mean, with that Cog'Maw ultimate hammering away, and not the easiest thing to be pushing down, especially when he's got a blue buff on as well.
He's level 17, Joe, and actually has a Last Whisper on top of that. He's the highest level in the game as well as Dade. Well, Charu 18, but he's as the highest level on CJ Entus. And Ezreal sitting at 15, doesn't have that level 3 ultimate just yet, but with that Oracle, they are clearing out all the wards over towards Baron, and Mitri Makers, they have to do something about this. 2 Shurelys, they have 6 wards on them currently. And do they still have yeah, they have the Oracle still on Libic at the moment.
What's the plan here then for CJ? Are they going to set a trap?
I see Ezreal top right now.
Yeah, Ezreal's top, so they know that they can go in there in a 4 versus 5. But again, afraid to make that one false step that could end it all. 34 minutes into this one.
I like how both teams just pinged. We saw CJ just ping top because it's pushing, and we saw Mitri Makers ping bottom because it's pushing. But they do get the slow on the Insect mid lane. Are they going to commit to it though, Joe?
Nah, you can't on Lee Sin. It's not worth it. It's too slippery. But they may end up getting into a bit of a fight here around that around that Baron.
Actually, Baron
comes over. Yeah, they started the Baron there, which was kind of ballsy stuff, to be honest. They're just going to lose health from that. There's not a chance of them taking it down with just 2. Katarina going to the bottom. Doesn't have teleport up now, though, so that's a bit of a dangerous move from Meet Your Maker's side of things. And have CJ Entus time this one. I just think that they will have totally timed it. Like, they're going to know when this Katarina can and can't teleport back in. And there we go. They're going to start off this Baron. Katarina got the long walk up there now, but is this Kog'Maw's range enough to stop CJ Entus doing this one? Here comes Libic's ultimate, not doing a ton of damage. Ezreal will ulti out as well. Makati coming in. Finally, Charu's going to come in from the side. There is the Lulu ultimate. Charu is going to get exhausted, and Makler will take down Long Panda. Now they're in on towards Dade, who will pop the Zhonya's. Kubon going low, will be picked off by Space on Ezreal. But where are the next moves coming in? 2 men dead for either side. Flash has been popped all over the place, but Charu isn't finished just yet. Let's have a look at his cooldowns. He goes in there, gets himself 1, gets himself 2. Yay for resets. Double kill for Charu. And Meet Your Makers now may well do a 3-man Baron. However, Insec is not done just yet. He's coming around this side. Actually, Charu's hunting him to try and stop him coming in here.
He hasn't even spotted by a ward just yet.
Oh, this could be very, very dangerous. Let's see, there's the Q going over. He's going to come in there, but he doesn't get the steal. And there is another kill for Makler coming down. He is 11-3-5. It's an ace in the end for Meet Your Makers. They get Byron. Nice play from the Poles.
Makler again in that fight. He was being chased by Insect. We saw him chased. Actually, sorry, he's chased by Long Panda and by Dottie right there. And just by his attack moving, and with his help from Makati right there, he picked up the kills. Didn't even die. It was so well played. And Charu, even though he was so far down in that bottom lane, teleport wasn't up, came in and still helped pick up the ace. And that was very well played at Mitri Makers. Going to go back buy a lot of items. You do see currently almost a GA fully bought out for Kog'Maw. And for Darius going for a chain vest. See the randoms on the way to being done. That Warren's Mouth for Makade. And a GA done for Space as well. So gonna have another long game with GAs, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't think we're gonna hit 6, but still.
Well, who knows? I mean, it's not that big of a difference. Look at the gold overall. 53.6 to 52.9. That is ridiculously close. And now most of that coming from those turrets. If you look at the CS, 227 to 161 in that top lane. More in the jungle for CJ. Only the middle lane actually is currently less CS than what the rest of the team has. I was just going to say, I wonder how much damage this Ezreal ultimate is going to do. Not a huge amount. And they've lost that inner turret for the pleasure. Libic just walking over a ward. I guess one of his teammates saying, wait a minute, there's a ward in there. Make sure you get that one away. Red buff stalling out for Makler as well. And now Libic is going to get rid of another ward. CJ Entus actually coming down middle here. They're going to force MYM to come in from behind them. There is the Shurelya's popped. And there is the second Shurelya's popped. They can't quite get in there to get these kills. Q coming out of Lee Sin will land onto Cubon.
Yeah, that Glitter Lance and that ultimate out of Insect is just pretty much their perfect disengage. Not to mention the Undertow out of Long Panda and the Phage procs out of Space, but they really want to go for it. They have them caught off guard. Wow. They're going to have to back out, and they're just going to face tank this inhibitor turret and force CJ Entus to come back.
Yeah, they're going to force a fight with this one. Charu is now joining in the team. Turret is going to go down before they can get involved. and they have to keep pushing in there, as we are going to be seeing Dade going into the middle, and here comes the Nunu ultimate. Makler going to get kicked away. There is the dunk. Kubon taking down Diana. Actually, Long Panda is going low as well. Insect will dash away to him for cover, but Katarina gets on top of him. Kill comes down in the end for Makata, and that is 3 men down. Will this be game? Inhibitor is going to fall. Makata is healthy enough. Kubon and Libic are all healthy enough. Well, are they going to go for those Nexus turrets? We do have the minions coming in there. There's the Ezreal ultimate to, well, get rid of the minions after all. And now they focus in here. Long Panda going to be the one coming under fire. There's another. Shirelius gets popped. Long Panda is surely going to die here right before the fountain. He's pulled back in by Kubon. First Nexus turret goes down. Slow comes into space. That's going to buy enough time for the second Nexus turret. They can do this one. Space hasn't got enough to kill all of them in such a short space of time. And Meet Your Makers going to 3-0 Group B here at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Brilliant day of work from their point of view. They'll top the group. They'll play SK Telecom T1 tomorrow. And it will be CJ Enters versus Fnatic in the other semi-final. As I said, great day at the office from Meet Your Makers. They played brilliantly in all 3 games that we've seen them.
Yeah, I know you and Demon actually have to be really happy since you've been coming for such a long time to see them finally, get their dues here. And they honestly look really thrilled and probably a little bit tired after playing 3 games today. And now they have to do the research, which I know they have been doing. They were here on day 1. They were doing as much research as possible to go up against SK Telecom. Hopefully they don't party too hard tonight, as we see Char right there.
Pretty sure they'll be going to bed straight away.
Char is stretching out his back there with that Katarina. Yeah, he was 6-1-16, and we saw Makler 11-4-7, but with that ultimates, with that GA, he was able to pretty much force all of CJ just to go for Kog'Maw. Because of that, you had a Cubone on Darius, and you had a Katarina on Char, or Char on a Katarina, just do free reign of damage.
Yeah, and that was it. You knew that they were going to be going in on towards Makler the entire time, and as long as he got those resets in there, as long as he got those assists when the others were dying, that's really fine from their point of view. You can keep that sustained damage going out. But Meet Your Makers, as you said, going to go through to the semi-final. They'll be extremely happy with that one. Let's not forget they won our last Intel Extreme Masters event over in Singapore. And this is a real big chance for them now. They've got top 4 in this event. Yeah. You never want to finish 4th in event because no one remembers anything outside the top 3 for most events anyway. So you want to have that top 3. You can see just how happy they are. Again, Makler playing the top of his game. Playing the top of his game. I mean, we've seen him in all 3 matches today, playing brilliantly. That Vayne performance earlier on. Here with Kog'Maw, we talk about Vayne being micro-intensive, but the way that Makler was moving Kog'Maw in those fights was absolutely brilliant. Keeping an eye on his position the whole time, making sure that damage kept up while he was trying to avoid, the all after Lee Sin, the Dianas that kept diving in on towards him. So just overall, a great day of work from Meet Your Makers.
And the funny thing is that Meet Your Makers, they're already qualified for CBIT through Intel Extreme Master Singapore, so they're playing for the glory, they're playing for the fame, because honestly, after playing this long together, pretty much a year with these 5, they want to be known. It's about time for them to finally be getting their name out there.
Well, let's not forget they're also qualified for the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
Yes, they are.
Because they actually are the Polish champions there, so they get that slot through into Katowice, the Polish event. That's actually going to be it from me and Jason today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the awesome games that we've had, especially these last 2 were really spot on. Even the games that were, what you might call stomps were actually really, really entertaining to watch because of the fact that there was so much individual skill and teamwork involved in those. We're going to throw it over to the expert desk for one last time. They're going to break down that final game between CJ Enters and Meet Your Makers.
Well, there we go.
This is a man right here. He's going to go hug Makler.
Yes.
Because he said if Makler manages to carry this, then I'm going to have to go give him a big hug.
Yeah, and I heard Polish hate people hugging them. Also, so probably I'm gonna come back with
because they're all big guys.
Blood eye or something.
Also, where's my honor, dude? Where's my honor?
What honor? We didn't have honor.
we bled for the honor.
Didn't have honor.
Mim took it.
Yeah,
well,
it was
what a game!
Quite
what a game.
Impressive. Game. It was amazingly played.
Now, was that a throne or just a really well played game?
I will say there was some kind of misplays by CG Enters. There was some kind of like misposition, like pushing alone, and they get like 3 guys from MYM killing them, and then it was probably a comeback from that Mackler with Kog'Maw star. I think
With a
it was
triple, a quadra.
Exactly. It was the first triple kill. I think it was one of the guys with the passive and two guys almost dying, and he was like with the ultimate killing them.
Well, let's show them.
Really
Let's show
go
the
through
replays.
it.
We've got so many replays
First of
for
all,
you guys.
we're gonna watch what Insect did at level 2. This is amazing. They knew they had wards in the right and in the bottom side, and he flashed in Drake to get the red buff, and still they get countered. They came for it, but we have to remember that Kog'Maw didn't have flash because he used it at level 1. So at this point, Nunu has Nox Housed, Kog'Maw has no flash, and they keep fighting. And it's a 4v4. And it ends quite bad for MYM, giving a double kill for a space with Ezreal and giving double off for him. Here we have how Ezreal killed Udyr with the Ignite and kills Kog'Maw without attacks. And start really well for CJE entries, but slowly they fall.
Where was Mackler going with that passive? He was still trying to escape. I just realised he came running off down the bottom. I was like, where are you going, son?
It happens.
Then we have another really nice plays by our friend
825.
Insect. He played amazing. Even the team lost, he played really good. Here we have the master of the Dukes.
Do you want to say who called it, that this was going to be an interesting...
This was Demon.
Oh, shut up.
Really nice call over here. He was like, Ara, right the minute. Here we have, he was like waiting for Udyr. He was perfectly at that corner, waiting for Udyr, and here we come. He started attacking him, and all MYM team came here. I mean, Katarina was coming, Dario was coming, and I don't really know how he escaped. Because even Nunu was coming now. And here we have the plays. He put a ward, he jumped on the ward, he kicked on Darius, he jumped on Darius and flashed away before the... Amazing. Just perfectly played by Insect, amazing play.
And proving why a lot of the Koreans, even if the Koreans say he's the best Lee Sin, you generally got to listen, because
Also,
he gets banned against them all the time.
Also proving my demon says always ban Lee Sin.
Always ban Lee Sin, because he's a bad MF.
Next time, something.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, 950 is the next one, and this is really the beginning of the fight
The
back.
comeback.
This is the comeback.
Even though the goal was always an adventure for CJE entries, you don't want to really fed a Kog'Maw. Like, if you fed a Kog'Maw early, you're really gonna have a problem in late game. And this was the first initiation of the feeding time. We see a dive, we see Diana coming from back of the tower, and we see that in end really bad for them.
And
They let Mackler hit in. He was killing the support. He killed the support with the help of Katarina, and there we go. With the ultimate, he kills Ezreal, and with his passive, he kills Diana. And I think even Katarina let him the kill. I'm not sure. I will ask Saru about that. But triple kill for Kog'Maw, that's something you really don't want to see. But it's not the only triple kill he got.
It's not the worst, most of all.
Even a hard
And then
moment.
1450, we're back again. And they just kept on giving Mackler everything. You know, after such a 2-0 start, a perfect lane start, perfect, great start, you just kept giving things back.
This moment, Insect playing amazing. He came back and he gave one, but this is the point that I was really thinking, okay, MYM is gonna win this game, because you cannot let this happen. It's one kill for Kog'Maw and a shutdown. Another kill for Kog'Maw. Another kill for Kog'Maw. I don't know why Lulu come back. And then this was a kind of fail, but he has heal, so it's fine. And they kill Olaf. Quadra kill for Kog'Maw.
Wow.
That's really hard.
I mean, that's immediately, that's put him at 7-2, I think he was, 7-2-0 by that time.
At that point, he was 7-2, yeah.
We just want to show a little bit of skill moment. It was 1840, actually. It was the Dragon Steal that Insect did.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it was worth it.
Beautiful.
It was